Hey everyone, this is Nolan from Natty Nolan Yu-Gi-Oh! So disclaimer before you start the video. I did record the matches, but they were pretty boring, and I forgot to film the middle two, which is my own fault. So for the future, I just have to remember to film all of them. The reason I'm not going to attach a live duel to this video is because both the matches that I did record were very boring. The first one was Cyber Dragon, and it was my only draw. And to be fair, my opponent was taking over 30 seconds per play, and I probably should have said something, and I did when there was like 5 or 7 minutes left, but it was just frustrating, and being as I was playing control deck, it's also very slow by nature, so just very annoying. And the last match, which was also very annoying, which was against Branded, it was just a wash. It was just whoever went first really won. My opponent went first, they won. I went first game 2, I won game 3. They put up Dragoon, Lubellion, Mirror Jade, Cosmic Cyclone, Ash Blossom, so it was just like nice deck. Like what was I gonna do? And even though I sided in like 15 cards total plus the hand traps, I didn't see a single, like it was just engine. There was no side deck cards, there was no ghost sucking cards, so it was just kaput at that point. So Natty also didn't record anything because he forgot his camera equipment, so for the future he just has to remember his stuff, and I just have to film all the duels, because to be honest, the duels I had in the middle, like the Runic Musketeers and the Swords Lieutenant, they were good matches. I just didn't film them. I was more just enjoying the game as it occurred rather than focusing on the filming part, which I should have anyway. But yeah, so you're gonna see lengthy profile. It's about 16-17 minutes, so Natty asked some good questions. I explained the cards I played. And just in case, if you skip ahead through the video, the record is X-1, so 1 loss, which put me from 3rd place, I think it was, down to 5th or 6th. 1 draw, the rest were wins. It was a good day, so enjoy the rest of the video, and we'll be back for more live duels in the future for sure. Thank you. Hey everyone, this is Nolan from Natty Nolan. Natty's behind the camera.
What's up, guys?
I went to locals with Natty today. I got top 8 with Labrynth. Got a lot of prize support and got a ton of cards out of it. Trying to build a new Nouvelle deck. But we wanted to bring you the deck profile for the Labrynth deck that I played today. So we're just going to start right away. We got 3 copies of Ariana. It's just mandatory. I've seen some profiles of people run this at 2. You don't. It's just a mandatory 3 of. Unfortunately today, as ironic as it sounds, I did open up 2 of her like 2 or 3 times, which really did suck. But it was a good follow-up, but it wasn't the worst card, that's for sure. 3 silver. If you play less than 3, I don't think that's correct. I've seen a bunch of profiles playing 2 recently, especially for like higher end tournaments like regionals. I think 3 is just really good. Offers the protection, gives you the follow-up, gets you any trap, E-Rad, Deck Devi, Compul, stuff like that. And then you contribute itself with like the viruses just to...
Did you break it down 3 all today or not at all?
No, actually no. I didn't. Most of the games, I actually had to search it. So I think I hard opened it twice.
Wow.
Out of the 4 matches that we had, which is 2 out of 8 games. But the rest I had to search it or summon it off of Welcome or Big Welcome.
Okay, wow.
The one, it is a brick, but I do think it's mandatory. This card cleans house. You reset any normal trap, and then once per turn, you pop a card. If a normal trap effect makes a monster leave the field, you pop a card not targeting on field or hand, which is fantastic. And the effect that came up a ton today, because people don't really understand how this card works, is that you cannot respond to the activations of normal traps. Yep. So they tried so hard to like Judgment or the Musket deck that tried to do the Last Stand. They just can't respond to it. So it generates actually a ton of advantage just by constantly forcing your opponent into a tunnel. I do play the Furniture build, so I'm doing 2, 2, 1. Please don't play 3. 3 is way too bricky. You don't need 3 of them. This is honestly a hard brick. You want to open it, you don't want to have to search it, especially on your opponent's turn. If you open up one of these in Coup Clock plus your hand, it's incredible. That came up twice today. But yeah, 2, 2, 1, I think that's the right ratio. I don't want to brick on 3 of these because you can only activate their effects once per turn anyway, so having 3 of them is ridiculous. Hand traps, 3 Ash,
I got 3 droll. Let me clean this up a little bit. So yeah, 3 Ash, 3 droll, and then I do have 3 copies of Nibiru. I'm not running Imperm. I don't like it's okay, but I just wanted stuff. I wanted to respect branded, which did come up. I also wanted to respect cash a little bit, so that's why I ran these. Because it stops Theosis, Field Spell, Unicorn. It hits a lot in their deck. This just shuts the deck down almost entirely. It's like kind of like a mid card against them, but given the right hand, it can shut them down entirely. And Nib, specifically for Branded, for Kashtira, super heavy if they don't get Baron by Summon 5. Whatever's out there.
Come up at all today or no?
Nib came up twice. Droll came up more than that. I use this at least once per match.
Wow.
Ash came up a few times as well. I think came up like 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
It was just nice opening 2 hand traps. And then I had like Extrav, Ariana, and like a normal trap. It was fantastic opening.
Was there any points in time where you just didn't think you needed the hand traps? Preferred like floodgates or anything? Or
going first, yeah. There were plenty of times where going first I would have 2 hand traps and like a really small engine. And I was just like, it's good, but if they have anything that blows up my back row, I get blown out.
Yeah.
I'm just screwed. Nice. Like there were a lot of situations where I was forced, for example, into game 3 because I didn't open up enough engine, and so because of that, I had to like rely heavily on like my hand traps to carry, which just wasn't optimal. Spells, the one Lab, you gotta play it. I think it's an amazing card. I might up this to 2. It actually really sucked not seeing this card. Just because you keep recycling your Labrynth.
Just a non-activated pop is insane.
Yeah, it's really just it applies it at resolution, and they don't realize that. And because the best part is if you have Lady and this plus any of your regular Labrynth traps, which that board is very easy to get to, because they can't respond to it. It's you activate the trap. They can't like cosmic this. They can't force it out. So you're always going to get the summon and then a pop.
Okay.
And then like at res of that, Lady pops another card. Wow. It's really nice. Wow. 3 Extrav. Duality is okay. Extrav is better in this deck. I'd rather take the +2 just because you have a lot of engine access with 3 Welcome Labrynth, 3 what's the I always forget their names. Big Welcome and just regular Welcome Labrynth. Plus 3 Ariane and the 2 of each furniture. You have like 11, 12 starters in the deck. So this, I'd rather take the random +2 than a known +1.
Okay.
So that's the spells. Very low spell count. Just the one-ofs. 1 deck dev, 1 erad. These came up all the time. I use these in most of my matches. I think bar 1. I think these came up so often and it was blowout every time. Fantastic.
Nice runic deck.
Yeah, I did do that against a runic musket deck and they just folded both games. Just activated them. See all spells. Waybridge did come up. I'm probably going to cut it though because it came up in the last match where I was going up against Branded. I lost this match, which is why I went X-1. And they had a full board and a bunch of chain links were happening. They used Dragoon, and then I Waybridged them. I chained DDG, Different Dimension Ground, and they had to send everything they control to the graveyard, but it gets banished instead. So Waybridge was just like... It blew up their board.
It is a crazy card.
It is. It blew up their whole board. It's just that they had 1 card in hand, and it was a Luber, and I was like, of course it's a Luber. I don't think it would have mattered at the end, but I don't know. I think Daruma Cannon might be a little bit
honestly,
better.
that card is insane. It ate me up today, and I had a couple links on board too.
Daruma or the Waybridge?
No, the Daruma.
Yeah, I think I'm going to replace the Waybridge for Daruma because I feel like that would have been a lot better at that point, just a Book of Moon everything. Because I would have been guaranteed on their draw, because I drew Stovey Torby. So that plus my draw would have got me back in the game before they can flip Dragoon. And so that would have got me back in the game.
That would have been crazy.
So I think I'm going to replace with Daruma. Other one-ofs. 1 Overroot. This is just like more like genuine monster removal by targeting. I didn't use this once today. It's not that it's not a good card. I didn't see it. I didn't search it. I didn't need it. It's still a really good card. I just didn't have a use for it. Compulse did come up. I mostly use this to bounce my own cards, so that way I can use Labrynth, Ariana.
Just save them from my own destruction.
Yeah, I
effects
honestly use
nice.
this more on my own board than my opponent's board, just because it procs so many effects, especially for yourself. Saki cards. Of course, you gotta run 3 barrier. It's a normal trap. It activates your Labrynth to summon a fiend from graveyard, and it just blows your opponent out most of the time. And then I did play double Gozen match. At this locals that Natty and I went to, there's a lot of castier players. There's a lot of people, just a lot of decks that have different attributes, even branded. This did stop branded, for example, when I played them. They just didn't have enough to game 2. They didn't have enough to push past this. I just kept shuffling their stuff back, leaving them on 1 attribute. I kind of wanted to up this to 3. Now I think it's just good at 2. I don't know if there's like a better option, but like skill drain's an option, but then it turns off all of your stuff. Yeah, so I don't like the skill drain stuff, but I think this is fine. And as long as this card's legal at 3, you just
might as well run it. Yeah.
It's unfortunate that it is legal, but you have to play it. And then other 3 up for the traps. 3 big welcome, 3 little welcome. Everyone should know what these do. These are all mandatory in this deck. It's access to your engine, really good cards.
Which makes the best? The big welcome, little welcome.
Funny enough, I actually used big welcome more often today because most of the time I had a monster on board like Ariana, so I'll do big welcome to summon Lady or Silver Castle and then bounce. And then because of that, I had like stuff in the graveyard I could use, or I could proc like Lady Labrynth and like pop a card in the hand or on the field. So I actually found myself using Big Welcome a lot more. Although the second effect, it's not even that I forgot. I just never was able to really use. It just didn't come up to like banish it and target a card on the field and bounce it. It just never came up. So that's the main deck. Extra deck. So I don't play. Dogmatic of Punishment, so I didn't have a need for my extra deck. The only card that was honestly worth even showing is I did play 2 of these. These are the only cards that you actually should play.
That came apart against me yesterday.
Yeah, this card comes up a lot. So if they like it came up a lot where like they would imperm or ash my Labrynth cards or like my big monsters, so I would just link off what I had to summon back Lady or Silver Castle and just punch in, set a card pass, and they'll still like full combo from there. Wow. So like out of everything in my extra deck, like none of this really mattered to be honest. But I think whatever you play, you should probably run 2 of these. Okay. So yeah, 2 of those. Side deck, I don't know. It's just anti-meta stuff. So Radiant, it's a fiend. You can bounce it, keep summoning it, and Double Lava Golem again. It's a fiend. It's just naturally good in the deck because it's all fiend based. So Kaiju's, 2 of these, it did come up. It turned off my opponent's lightning storms. That was really cool. Doesn't turn off evenly matched. You gotta remember it didn't come up, but it doesn't turn that off. I know it was good. I mean, it was weird. Like I always had the use for the protection effect, but every time it came up to special summon it and then set one,
just setting other cards insane.
It is insane. It's just that I never used it because by the time the turn ended, I would just find myself like not needing to because the amount of follow up I had. And I was like, I'll just save it for next turn and reactivate it. Just keep protecting my stuff. But it is a really good effect just to like get instant access to your stuff. That's Ophelia. Bless you. Double Cosmic, 1 Duster. In hindsight, this is for the Cosmics were for Runic and Floodgates. In hindsight, I probably should have just done 2 Lightning Storm.
Gotcha.
It's not like Lightning Storm is less effective in the mirror match than Cycloning, just like completely banishing their Labyrinth, so they can't use them anymore. But I think for every other matchup, I would have preferred Lightning Storm. I just wanted to try it to see how it would work.
Just having like just the ability to even take some attack position monsters out too.
Like it was really good against Floodgates because like they chain like skill drain and stuff. Well, you can't activate like Harpies or Lightning Storm right away, and they have conditions where like Lightning Storm you can't control face-up cards. Whereas like for this one, it's just you can activate it. So I think there's a place for it. Maybe I'll try like 1/1/1. I don't know. I have to think about it, but triple evenly. It's a normal trap, so you can search it if you need to. You can reset it if you can, if you have an application for that. But I didn't use this all day. Again, it's not that it's not a good card. I just didn't need it. I wouldn't get rid of it, especially if it's a mirror match or like another control deck, like Trap Tricks. I still think it has a place in this deck. It just didn't come up today because of my matchups. And then 3 Imperial Wall. This is because you don't want to get blown out by Evenly, and you don't want to get blown out by Cashier. So it was a choice between this and Solemn Judgment. But the thing with Solemn Judgment is, like, if they have another one, they just activate it, or main phase 2, they activate Lightning Storm, which I would rather have this to both be like Kashtira gets screwed and you can't evenly match me even if you have a second one. So it forces them to like evenly Lightning Storm. Now I have 2 cards in hand just for the back row. I can use all my other traps. So I think this is a better card this format. If you're doing like the choice between Solemn and Iron Wall for like stopping cash and like evenly, I think this is just better. It's a continuous trap too. So it stays permanently. And then the last card, which did come up, I played 1 copy of Different Dimension Ground. This was a blowout. I mean, against anything I played today, if it came up, like Runic Muskets, for example, it's just all spells banished, branded, all cards banished. They couldn't activate branded fusion. So the 1 copy of that. So that was the main side and extra. My matchups today, it was... I lost to Branded. I ended up tying with Cyber Dragon, which is fun. I 2-0'd Tenny Sword. No, I went to game 3 with Tenny Sword Soul because I brick game 2. Runic Muskets. That was a pretty fun one. Yeah, I think that was all 4, right? Runic Muskets, Branded, Sword Soul, Cyber Dragon. Yeah, so those are my 4 matchups. So X-1 won, so I tied with Cyber Dragons. I only lost my last round, which was heartbreaking because it was literally it came down to who's going first. And even though I have 9 hand traps, and I actually sided, so I didn't take out any hand traps the last match. I kept an all 9 hand traps, and I boarded in. I boarded in the 3 evenly. I boarded in 3 of these, so I had 15 out of a 40 card deck. I didn't see a single card.
That's how it goes.
15 out of 40 cards, I didn't see a single sideboard card, and I was depressed. So they went full combo. I mean, my hand was amazing. I had Ariana, Lady, Extrav, Welcome Labrynth, and Big Welcome. That was my hand.
That's insane.
Like the most insane hand you could have, going first.
Wow.
Going second, it just did nothing.
Didn't do much.
Did nothing. So, yeah, I mean, he had on Dragoon, had, like, the new fusion, like, Rebellion, Albaz, Cartesia, like, everything. And he had... I kind of tricked him into not doing it because I was activating traps in an awkward sequence. But he had Expulsion and Jinzo in the grave.
Oh, wow.
But I made it so that he had to chain immediately to the cards I was activating. Because if he were to chain that card, I would just activate all my stuff before Jinzo comes out. So he never summoned out Jinzo, which he should have done like in
as soon as
phase.
possible.
If he did it in draw phase, it would have been over immediately. But I don't know why he waited so long. But yeah, I mean that's the deck. So X-1 won, top 8. It's okay. I don't think it's the deck that I'm gonna end up bringing to nationals in North Carolina when we go. I'm kind of still stuck on like Vanadium or Sky Striker now that multi-roll's back and Engage is back, and I hate that deck with a passion, but I really do like playing it. So I don't really know. So we got to see. But I'm happy I got top 8 today. I mean, I got like a ton of cards out of it just for like the prize support. Shout out Josh for giving me the Nouvelle stuff. But yeah, that's it. So I'll see you later.
Peace out, guys. See ya.